Till now, we have studied about two types of connective tissue, skeletal tissue and proper connective tissue. Now we will study about third type of fluid tissue, connective tissue, which is known as fluid tissue or blood. Blood is a type of fluid connective tissue which is opaque and turbid in nature. Its fluid component contains intercellular substances or matrix secreted by the blood cells. Blood is basically composed of three types of substances. First, plasma. Second, blood cells. And third, blood platelets. Blood plasma is basically the fluid part of the blood. Blood cells includes WBCs and RBCs, which are the cellular parts and secretes the matrix. And blood platelets is the cytoplasm part of the fluid. Let us understand all the three along with their classification. This figure represents the composition of blood, which contains platelets, plasma, and blood cells that are red and white. Let us understand first of all that what is plasma. Blood, that is fluid tissue, basically contains 80% water and 20% solids. This 80% water represents the plasma. Thus, plasma is a fluid matrix or intercellular substance of blood. It is almost colorless with faint yellow shade. Now, plasma basically consists of seven important things. First, water, which is about 80%. Further, it contains proteins. These proteins include prothrombin and immunoglobulins. Prothrombin, immunoglobulins, and fibrinogen. Here, the fibrinogen and prothrombin proteins act as phagocytes. That is, it helps in the blood clotting. These proteins are generally colloidal or crystalline in nature. Third, it constitutes salts. Now, salts can be in the form of mineral ions, which can be either mineral ions in the form of sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride, and many others. Fourth composition is food and gases. Gases can be in the form of oxygen and carbon dioxide, where the transport of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide takes place. Fifth includes waste. Now, these waste can be in the form of ammonia, urea, uric acid, which gets discarded gradually with the processing. And finally, it constitutes hormones. And similar other substances which acts as antitoxin for removal of toxins, which includes agglutinin component and serum. Serum is basically the component that are present in the plasma except the substances that are used for blood clotting. This was the composition of blood plasma. Now we will understand that cholesterol in humans and normal blood sugar level in humans or other animals is basically due to the presence of plasma. In adult humans, the normal blood sugar level is 90 to 120 mg per 100 ml, while the cholesterol level in humans generally range from 140 to 260 mg per 100 ml of serum. Now we will study about the another component of blood, that is blood cell. Blood cells are basically two types, RBC and WBC. RBC, that is red blood cells, are also known as erythrocytes, and WBC, that is white blood cells, are also known as leukocytes. Let us first of all begin with erythrocytes. As it can be seen from the figure, erythrocytes or RBC are biconcave discs in nature, or they are in the form of biconcave disc with nucleus present within. Except for the mammals where it is enucleated or nucleus is absent. The reddish color of RBCs is due to the presence of a pigment known as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a conjugated protein that is consists of iron, that is Fe plus, and globin, a protein which exhibits reddish color of RBC. Thus, hemoglobin contains both protein and non-protein part. Protein part is globin and non-protein part is called heme. Heme is an iron-containing compound which constitutes the non-protein part of the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin has a high affinity for oxygen, as a result of which transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place due to presence of RBC containing hemoglobin. Number of RBCs under normal condition in male ranges from 4.1 into 10 raised to 6 to 6 into 10 raised to 6 per cubic milliliter, while that in females ranges from 3.9 into 10 raised to 6 to 5.5 into 10 raised to 6 per cubic milliliter. The average lifespan of single RBC is 120 days, after which it gets degraded, from which new RBCs are formed. Thus, self-repair mechanism occurs in erythrocytes. Now let us study another type of blood cell, that is WBC, which is also known as leukocyte. WBC, that is white blood corpuscles, are small nucleated cells which are devoid of hemoglobin, as a result of which reddish pigment is absent and they are not red in color. Moreover, they are capable of changing their shape and sizes independently without use of any other component or through the intercellular spaces present within the tissue. These cells are also known as phagocytes because during infection they ingest the bacteria and destroy them, thus protect the blood from infection. On an average, the number of WBC in normal humans ranges from 7.5 plus or minus 3.5 into 10 raised to 3 per cubic milliliter of the blood. This number, however, depends on the condition of the body and may variate accordingly. Now the WBC or leukocytes are further divided into two types, agranular and granular. Granular, now this classification is based upon the staining characteristic of cytoplasm shape of nucleus. That is, granulocytes are the components or the WBC which contains granules in their cytoplasm. On the contrary, agranular do not contain granule molecules. Their further subclassification is made on the basis of staining characteristic of cytoplasm granules. Thus, agranular type is further divided into lymphocytes and monocytes. On the contrary, granular is divided into basophil, neutrophil and eosinophil. First of all, let us understand about agranular leukocyte, which includes monocyte. Monocytes are considered as the largest cells of leukocyte, whose nucleus is kidney-shaped. Then the second type is lymphocytes. Lymphocytes, they have large and rounded nucleus, as it can be seen from the figure. The second type of WBC is granular. Neutrophils. Neutrophils constitute the maximum component of leukocytes. These blood cells, they have lobed nucleus. Or circular nucleus. They can be stained easily with both acidic and neutral or basic medium, and so they are known as neutrophils. Second component is basophil. Basophils have S-shaped nucleus and the granules of this type of cell can be stained only with the basic dyes or the basic stains like methylene blue. As it can be seen from the figure, eosinophils or acidophils have bilobed nucleus which are generally large in size, and they can be stained only with the acidic dyes like eosin. This was all about blood cells. Now the third component of the blood is blood platelets. They are also known as thrombocytes due to the presence of protein thrombin. They possess small, non-nucleated, oval disc-shaped cells. Due to the presence of protein, thrombin and fibrinogen, the process of blood clotting takes place due to platelets. The platelet formation generally takes place in bone marrow. This was all about the composition of blood. Now, the basic functions of blood generally includes transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide, due to the presence of plasma and RBC. Removal of carbon dioxide, and the other necessary toxins and waste. Transport of waste matter, oxygen, food material, proteins, hormones, antitoxin, which acts as a defensive mechanism for the body. It also helps in the disposal of dead cells and worn out cells. Moreover, it also helps in equalizing or in equalization of body temperature due to maintaining the carbon dioxide and oxygen level.